So the big problem I have an X1C. When it's done with the LiDAR, we check the first layer, then it moves to the part and it leaves a blob mid-print. Now this is not really good for anything, so it will come from there, move to the part, and then it goes to the purge. But as it moves to the part, it will leave a small blob and then it moves to the purge tower. And that's really annoying because that big blob is going to get in the way for the rest of the layers getting printed. See? See, there left the blob, and then it starts printing. Now I'm going to stop this. You're really going to see how nasty that one is. Let me see. So this is literally how it ends up on the print. And if you wonder how high it is, I can try and show you on the side. There you can see how big it is. It's literally like a millimeter thick, and that is going to get in the way of the prints. So how to remove that? Okay, so a little bit about this problem. This issue is actually something that is usually on the X1C or any of the LiDAR equipped Bambu printers. It is actually a post-scan nozzle reprime move, so it primes the nozzle for printing. Now, I do not understand why the hell Bambu designed it so that it will go and put a blob of filament on the part where it's supposed to print after, and then go to the prime tower, and then it's supposed to go back to the tower. But apparently there are some ways around this, and if I understood this correct, then the pre-prime move, it always will try to attempt to go to the closest object. This is a firmware function. It's not really a software function. So it will always try to go to the closest object to the prime or purge tower. And then it will put that dot, and then it will go to the purge tower and do its thing, and then resume printing. And it's just stupid to have that function. There's totally no good thing about it at all, because you could just do that pre-prime move after you've done the first line on the purge tower or something, or maybe just made in code that it should do it outside the original place, like a small area on the purge tower that it could do that on, if they ever wanted to do that. That would be perfect, but no, they do that on the model if that is too close to the purge tower. So if you have several objects, then that is too far away from the rest, and it will basically go to the object, and it will put a dot of filament there. So the first solution I found, which I don't really like, is to go and disable what is called first layer inspection. It's a feature unique to the X1C and maybe other LiDAR equipped Bambu printers, where it goes and it checks the first layer has been printed correctly, that there are no issues. Now, it will not stop the print because of this blob, which it should have done, because it's horrendous. The problem is that the scan itself goes before the blob is put down. So it prints the first layer, then it goes to the poop chute, then it goes and do a scan of the first layer, then it goes back to the poop chute, and then it goes to the print object closest to the purge tower and put down a blob, and then it moves to the purge tower. Prints on the purge tower, and then starts to resume printing on the correct layer. But now you have a 1 millimeter blob of filament in a lot of cases where the print is supposed to resume. And yeah, that fucks up the print. So I'm gonna test now the solutions that I think works, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll keep you updated. The first one I'm going to test is to turn off first layer inspection. Apparently this will basically stop doing the reprime of the nozzle. Let's see if that works. So I forgot to mention where you do this. So you have, I use Orca Slicer, is this one, and there you go into the device tab and the print options, and here you untick the first layer inspection, and then you close the window. And likewise in Bambu Studio, same place, you load your object, and then print options, and then you remove the first layer inspection to turn it off. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so it's closing in on ending the layer, so let's see if it does the nozzle reprime thingy now. So it's finishing. Normally it would go back to the chute and it would do a first layer inspection, but I've turned off first layer inspection for this one. Now it should go to the chute. I can see a tiny dot, but that's not a reprime. But now it went actually straight to the prime tower instead. So it basically, when you skip the first layer inspection, it does not do the big blob. I think you could live with the small thing you can see there. That input. See if I can zoom and see it. I think I read also you can compensate for that by increasing speed when you are printing the walls. But it didn't do the blob now, so that's good. So that is one solution. You can see it started printing again perfectly. So the next possible solution was, as I could figure out, to move the purge tower closer to the model. In my case, it's easier to move the model closer to the purge tower. So I open Orca Slicer, have it here, and then I'll just re-initialize the first layer inspection because I want it. And then I'll go to the prepare, and then I'll move this one closer to the white, so down here somewhere. So it's kind of far down on the build plate. So technically, if I do the re-prime of the nozzle, then it should be further to go here than to go to the purge tower. So let's see if it does that or not. I'll slice it. And we'll send it. Okay, so now the first layer has been printed and it is doing the inspection of the first layer. So what I think will happen again is it will still create a blob because the closest object to the purge tower is still the object that I want to print. Even though I moved it, I think it will still blob it. So it will move to the chute, and we'll move to the object, blob it, and then move back to the purge tower to do the second layer. Let's see what happens. Yep. Blob confirmed. Why, Bambu? Why? It's totally unnecessary. Okay, so moving the object itself closer to the purge tower or wipe tower did not actually make a difference. And I was kind of expecting that because you're basically just moving it closer. You're not creating a different relationship in relation to any other object being closer so that it will not print on it. So what I have come up with is a small solution which I will want to try. I have made a small object here which I will give the same color as the first color I'm going to print on the actual object. This object only has 0.1 I'm just going to print it with a layer height of the first layer, which is 0.12 millimeters. And I only see the blob issue on the very first layer. So hopefully what will happen now is that it will detect that that tiny object is closer to the wipe tower than the main print object. So it will go print the first layer, then it will hopefully go to the chute, then it will do layer inspection, first layer inspection, then it will go back to the chute, and then it would go to this object instead of this object. So this object, and then it will move on to the purged tower instead, and in that way sort of cheating it to not actually hit the actual object I want to print. So you don't get the blob there, but you just misplace the blob somewhere else. It's like a workaround kind of thing. So I'm just going to slice that now. So let's see how that turns out. Okay, so I am going to hit print on that now, and we're going to see how that turns out. Hopefully that will work. Okay, so it's closing up, finishing on this. Let's see if it starts to print the other one and then goes back to the little piece. So it's printing the little piece. And it should go back to that first now. If it does that, then we probably have a solution that's more viable than turning off first layer. You see? What? Yeah, okay. So now it's doing the first layer inspection, and then it will go back to the hoop chute, and then it should go back to the small object, because that is where that object is closer to the purge tower. So it goes back. Please go to the little one. Yes! Success! So ladies and gentlemen, I think I found a good fix for the problem where it puts a big blob on your print. And Bambu, I don't know what you guys are thinking. That purge thing is just totally unnecessary. If anything, you should put it on the, like a separate spot, not on the print object itself. It should not be necessary for users to have to make a fake object to trick it into printing the nozzle preparation thingy that you made. And there it starts printing on the object as it should. So yeah, we have a nice conclusion there, and I hope you liked this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subs. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.